What if extinction was nature's mercy and resurrection its greatest mistake? That is the question in the back of everyone's minds after the events of Jurassic World Rebirth. And this is the review for said film. Up front, is it worth it? Absolutely 100%. I believe if you're a Jurassic World or a Jurassic Park fan, or both, it's definitely worth the watch. You get dinosaurs, you get tension, and a lot of it. You get never before seen dinosaurs, and just like it was in Jurassic Park, you still get jump scared. Something a lot of these Jurassic World films have been unable to do. The concept is as simple as it gets: go to the island, get some few things, and get out. Probably as easy as it can get when it comes to a Jurassic World or Park movie. But obviously, it's never that easy. After all, it is a Jurassic World movie. Shit's gonna go wrong. And let me tell you, it goes wrong in more than one way. But first, let's talk about what worked in this film. Elephant in the room, or in this case, dinosaur in the room. The dinosaurs in the CGI. Once again, hitting it on the nose, giving us exactly what we've seen in the trailers and the promotional art. And hell, even then some. Every single dinosaur in this film looked fantastic. Maybe a few things here and there in terms of tweaks of how the dinosaurs are supposed to look, but everyone complains about that regardless of what film it is. So, like, legitimately just shut the hell up. It's not that big of a deal. The fact that you get dinosaurs with good CGI should be enough. Also giving every single dinosaur in this film some sort of emotion to justify their actions, but not too much to take away from the immersion. Basically, the emotion, since they can't talk, being shown through the eyes and their movement, while still playing off their primal aspects as a dinosaur would. If anything, just chalking it up to curiosity. And might I elaborate, the way they went about killing different people. It felt and looked gruesome, which was a very nice touch. And especially if you watch it in the D-Box like I did, it just makes things even better. More impactful, so to speak. Another thing that really worked was the music and sound design. I thought that was perfect, especially for the dinosaurs and the scenes that happened that had some sort of tension to it. Even though the music is very easy to miss, it still helped the scenes in more ways than one. What also worked was the scare factor. The aspect of these dinosaurs hiding in plain sight, and then when you realize it, it's too late. We, the viewers, seeing this and realizing there's nothing that you can do for the person on screen, while also giving us that edge of seat feel. And one of the biggest things that performed well in this film was the pacing. There is a lot to say when it comes to pacing for a Jurassic World film. The other two films did not have good enough pacing, and people complained about that. So Gareth Edwards said, fuck it, we're gonna make it work. Literally throwing us into it, saying, you already know what Jurassic Park is. You know what Jurassic World is. You know that dinosaurs exist. You know this shit is serious. So, here you go. And he made it work. Yet somehow people complain about it. I don't understand it. This is what you wanted. And I gotta say, that is completely overlooked by a lot of people. When in reality, that's exactly the point that's trying to get across. We know how this works. There should be no surprise as to what's happening. But not just that. Also the aspect that there were no filler scenes in this film. Everything made sense, and no scene was just there to be there. And low-key, same thing could be said about some of these characters, but I'll elaborate on that later. And even though the story was unbelievably simple, I mean the simplest ever, they still made it work. Just adding all the things that we love about Jurassic World and Park and just implementing it into it. And the last thing I say about what works before I get on to what didn't work is the fact that Gareth Edwards and the rest of the team was able to rip things out of the novel and put it into this film. I mean verbatim, word for word. That specifically being in this case right here with the Tyrannosaurus. This was exactly how it was in the novel, and they pulled this off perfectly. Again, some people complaining about this, I don't know why. Nothing can ever satisfy you guys. The whole tension that was built up around this scene, the way that the little girl was there while the T-Rex was trying to figure out what that raft was. By the way, durable ass raft. Oh my god. You should be selling those instead of whatever the hell you wanted to sell in the with the blood. Like, be for real. But this was done perfectly, and I think a lot of you all are overlooking that, like you are with a lot of things in this film. Now, the things that didn't work with this film, and I'm gonna be real, there are a few, starting with the characters. I can understand where people do not like the fact that everyone is just thrown in there all at once, but to rebuttal that, we learn a little bit about them as the movie goes on. Zora Bennett, played by Scarlett Johansson, we know nothing about her. Same thing with the rest of her crew, the dude who's trying to make pharmaceuticals, the paleontologist, like all of them. Same thing with the family. At first you wonder, why the hell do I care about these characters? But as time goes on in the film, you understand. Another thing is the plot aspect for a lot of these characters. Because let's be honest, most of these characters should have died. Like, they should have. They lead us to believe that some of them are gonna die, but they don't, and then the ones that you know are gonna be killed get killed, and it's like, well, that was obvious. Like, this kid here doesn't die. does not die at all. As a matter of fact, didn't even get hurt. And you're literally face to face with the T-Rex. Like that, I don't like the plot aspect of it. Same thing with the Distortus Rex with Marshala Ali, I think it's his name. Yeah, he literally leads the D-Rex away from Scarlett Johansson and the rest of the individuals, and we're led to believe he's dead. But no, he manages to get away, and the D-Rex just leaves him alone. Never mind the fact this thing grabbed a helicopter out of the sky and destroyed a Hummer because it annoyed him. It's distracted by light. Okay, but this thing got face to face with the dude, and the guy still managed to survive. And same thing with the Mosasaurus. The human plot aspect is like very high in this, but I get it. You have to have some of these characters to make the story work. But like, come on. Another issue, and this is a big thing with a lot of people, is that ending. I was under the impression something interesting was going to happen, but they literally drove off into the sunset or sunrise, one of the two. And that was it. That's the end of the film. Again, Mosasaurus, towards the beginning of the film, this thing was just attacking to attack. Same thing with the Spinosauruses. So like, I was expecting this thing to also be a problem, but with the small boat, it probably would have just taken away from everything. But hey, you know what? It is what it is. Are we gonna get another film? I have no idea. Overall, the theme or message of this film is still the same as the other ones. We should not have recreated dinosaurs. We shouldn't, because they all moved to the equator intentionally, because they were dying everywhere else, and the equator was like the best place to be, as it was hundreds of millions of years ago. The Neo-Jurassic period. So all these dinosaurs are now near the middle of the equator, and no one's supposed to be going there. Yet, knowing humanity and how stupid we are, we're gonna do it regardless for either greed or something else entirely, which in this case it was greed, that's why. But also to create life-saving medication for heart disease or cancer or something like that. In my personal opinion, I believe you should watch this for yourself. Have your own opinions on it, whether you like it or not, that's okay. I liked it strictly because it's a Jurassic World film and it gives us Jurassic Park vibes, something that I've wanted for a very long time. But also, hell, it's dinosaurs. I really don't give a shit. I get to see CGI dinosaurs and how cool they are and how big they are. Shit, sign me up. You can give me an entire damn movie of just straight dinosaurs with no humans and I'd still watch it. Fuck, I still watch them documentaries of just dinosaurs. I still do that. Overall, I give it 4 out of 5 stars. Some people say that's a high rating. I don't think it's high enough. And yes, I stand on this. The best film out of all the Jurassic World films. I stand on that.